It's 7:00 p.m. This reorganization meeting for the West Mifflin Area School District is now called to order. Before we start the meeting, since this is my last meeting, I just wanted to once again thank all the citizens, the board, the administration, the staff for all their kindness and hospitality over the years. I really appreciate it. Most of all, I want to thank my family. They're not here today, but they're the ones that were the real troopers through my career. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Since this is an odd number year, we have a different agenda. We will first start with the roll call of what we call the holdover members. Ms. Ahern. Here. Mr. Alexandrov. Here. Mr. Marshall. Here. Ms. White.
Here.
Now we'll have the roll call of the new members. Mr. Blazevich. Here. Mr. DeCenzo. Here. Ms. Englert.
Here.
Ms. Castelnick.
Here.
Mr. Mattis. Here. Item number 2, complying with section number 402 and 404 of the Pennsylvania Public School Code of 1949, Public Law 30, as amended, notice is hereby given that the reorganization meeting, the Board of Directors of the West Mifflin Area School District, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, will be held in council chambers, 1020 Lebanon Road, West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, on Wednesday, December 4th, 2019, at 7:00 p.m. prevailing time. We are on number 4 on your agenda, and that is I would ask for a motion in a second to open nominations for temporary president. Motion.
Second.
We're going to have a roll call. The roll call will just be of holdover members. Ahern? Yes or no?
Yes.
Alexandrov?
Yes.
Marshall?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
The nominations for temporary president are now open. We're at number 5. I would entertain the nomination for temporary president. It has to be from a holdover member.
Okay, I'll make a motion,
Nomination.
a nomination for temporary president, Dave Marshall.
Nominations for temporary president are now closed. Your agenda, election of the temporary. And when I call your name on the roll, you will answer. Miss Ahern.
Mr. Marshall.
Alexandrov.
Dave Marshall.
Marshall.
Dave Marshall.
White.
Marshall.
Mr. Marshall has been elected temporary president, and he will now assume the chair.
Okay, we're on number 7, certificates of election of directors. Judge Olaz, who just celebrated an anniversary, if you could please step up. And I defer to Denny on this moving forward.
The elected board members, we do have their certificates of election, and we do have their loyalty oaths. So we will be filing them once he administers the oath of office. However you want to do it.
Should they stand together?
They want to come up together? Or
Yeah,
we'll all come together.
We'll come together. We'll go right up front here.
So all your family and friends can see you. Before I administer the oath, I just want to say thank you to the school board collectively for honoring me with administering the oath here today. I've known a good many of them for a number of years, got to meet a couple of them within the last calendar year, and one of my coached in Little League. So I guess I'm starting to get up there in age. But I want to also thank the prior board members for their service. As you guys are about to find out, running for this office is probably the easiest thing that you're going to do. It's a huge undertaking, but the commitment that your predecessors have showed, that you have shown by putting your feet forward to help the students, the teachers, the parents, and the taxpayers of this community don't go unnoticed. So on behalf of the community, I want to thank you for that, and also give a shout out to Dennis Smart, who is moving on. Dennis, you've been a rock for this district for a number of years. I've known your family pretty much my whole life. I just want to say thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you. And if you'd all raise your right hand and repeat after me, we'll go down the line. So, I say your name.
Matt Lazovich.
I, Jonathan Mattis.
Tony DeSenza.
Debbie Costello. Gina Engler.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I'll support, obey, and defend
I'll support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the bylaws of the West Mifflin Area School District,
and the bylaws of the West Mifflin Area School District,
and I'll discharge the duties of my office
and I'll discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Okay, I need a motion and a second to certify the election certificates of election and oaths of office and loyalty oaths will be filed by the secretary.
Motion.
Motion by Mrs. Ahern,
Second.
second by Mr. DeSenza. Roll call.
Ahern.
Yes.
And we're voting yes or no again to file the oaths and the certificates. Alexandrov.
Yes.
Blazevich.
Yes.
Yes. Engler.
Yes.
Kristelnik.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Mattis.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Motion carried. A list of legally elected and qualified school directors.
Mr. President, I do have a list of legally elected and qualified school directors, and that list will be filed with the minutes of this meeting.
Okay, step number 9, I'm requesting a motion for nominations, to open nominations for the president of the ensuing year. Motion by Mr. DeCenzo,
Second.
second by Mrs. Ahern. Roll call?
You're voting yes or no on that motion. Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandrov,
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes.
DeCenzo.
Yes.
Engler,
Yes.
Castelnick,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, next, we need nominations for president.
I nominate Debbie Castelnick.
Nomination for Debbie Castelnick.
I nominate Tony DeCenzo.
Nomination for Tony DeCenzo. Any others? Okay, I need a motion and a second to close nominations.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Mattis,
Second.
second by Mr. Blazevich. Roll call.
When I call your name on the roll, you will vote for, no, I'm sorry. We're voting yes or no on the motion to close nominations. Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandrov, Blazevich,
Yes.
DeCenzo,
Yes.
Engler,
Yes.
Castelnick,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Motion carried. We're running election of the president for the ensuing year. The temporary president requests the secretary to call the roll for a roll call vote for the president for the ensuing year.
When I call your name on the roll, you will say who you're voting for. Ahern,
Mrs. Kostelnik.
Alexandrov, Blazevich,
Mrs. Kostelnik.
DeCenzo, Engler,
Mrs. Castelnick.
Castelnick,
DeCenzo.
Marshall,
DeCenzo.
Mattis,
DeCenzo.
White.
DeCenzo.
Mr. President, Mr. DeCenzo is elected president by a vote of 6-3. And he will now assume the chair.
All right.
Yeah, at this time, I need a motion to open the nominations for vice president for the ensuing year.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Marshall, second by Mrs. Castelnick. Roll call?
You will vote yes or no on the motion to open nominations for vice president. Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandrov,
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes.
DeCenzo,
Yes.
Engler,
Yes.
Castelnick,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
The motion carries. This time, I will need a nomination for vice president for the ensuing year.
I nominate Aaron White.
Are there any other nominations? I need a motion in a second to close the nominations.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Marshall, second by Mrs. Castelnick. Roll call?
You're voting yes or no on the motion to close nominations for vice president. Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandrov,
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes.
DeCenzo,
Yes.
Engler,
Yes.
Castelnick,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Motion carries. I will need a roll call vote for the election of the vice president for the ensuing year.
When I call your name on the roll, you will state who you're voting for. Ahern,
Mrs. White.
Alexandrov,
Aaron White.
Blazevich,
Aaron White.
DeCenzo,
Mrs. White.
Engler,
Aaron White.
Castelnick,
White.
Marshall,
White.
Mattis, White.
White.
Mrs. White has been elected vice president of West Mifflin Area School District Board of Directors for the ensuing year. Motion in a second for the roll call stand. to be made with the director's name in alphabetical order with the exception of vice president and president. Vice president's name being next to last, and president's name last.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Marshall, second by Mr. Mattis. Roll call.
And again, you're voting yes or no. Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandrov,
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes.
Senzo.
Yes.
Engelert,
Yes.
Costello,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Motion carries. Signature stamp, I need a motion and a second to authorize the use of the signature stamp until a new one is received.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Ahern, second by Mrs. White. Roll call.
You're voting yes or no. Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandrov,
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes.
Senzo.
Yes.
Engelert,
Yes.
Costello,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Motion carries. The present committees will function until new committees have been designated. And I need a motion to adjourn. Do I need a motion to adjourn?
Motion. Second.
Meeting adjourned.
We'll take two pictures, the board, just the board members, Dr. Hoover
Yeah, how do you get that?
and there, Vice President.
You bring your name.
That was so, yeah, that was so.
Well, yeah, we gotta get, here, give me the right name, please. Not the right one.
As long as everyone's a chance.
Yeah. I don't know, I think that was just to give somebody a title. I never did. You know, our policies don't provide for, so you have to change the policy. It provides for the president, a vice, treasurer. Except for Cheney was vice president. One, two, yes.
Then you want to say- I was gonna look at this chair. You got a brand new
We'll get into that.
Debbie has it. Debbie has it.
They moved me to the pictures. They're getting broken. Yeah. And then it's- I think I put-
Yes, you are. That's right. I did have it.
At this time, I'd like to call to order the regular board meeting of the West Mifflin Area School District on Wednesday, December 4th, 2019. The West Mifflin Area School District regular board meeting is held in the West Mifflin Borough Building, Council Chambers, 1020 Lebanon Road, West Mifflin, PA 15122. Meeting to begin at 7:20. Opening exercises, we already did the pledge in our previous meeting. Before we get started, I would like to take a moment of silence for the unexpected passing of our student, Dasani Green. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. Thank you. Presentations, there are none at this time. Hearing of the citizens, public comment. In order to speak this time, the following must be met. Must be a West Mifflin, Whitaker, or Duquesne resident. Matter must have been discussed through the proper education channels. Direct comments to the board president and/or superintendent. Remarks limited to 3 minutes per person. Mrs. Stinessi.
We need a roll call.
Oh, I apologize. Sorry, Mrs. Stinessi. Roll call.
Ahern,
Here.
Alexandrov,
Here.
Blazevich,
Here.
Engler,
Here.
Costello,
Here.
Marshall,
Here.
Mattis,
Here.
White,
Here.
DeSenza.
Here. Mrs. Stinessi. I apologize.
Diane Spenesic, 2803 Glenny Lane Extension. Congratulations, board members. Like I said at the last meeting, I hope you take your jobs extremely serious. Do the research before you make a vote. Don't just vote because somebody else is telling you to vote yes. Because that's not the way it should be. You're supposed to be here for the best outcome for the students. And over the last couple of years, I've not seen that. We're spending way too much money. We've got $12 million in new bonds, and you're voting not to raise taxes. I understand next year you'll be making an interest payment, but at some point, let's all be realistic. We're gonna have to raise taxes because we're losing a lot of homes to the Turnpike Commission, and which means that is tax dollars that are going out the door. And one thing I would really like to see change with this board, including the members that are carryovers, is that when someone comes up here, like myself, and asks a question, we do expect an answer, not to be ignored. Remember, the residents voted you folks in. So when we ask a question, we do expect an answer. Now, on page 2, the top of the page, item 2, We're going to give Ford Business Machines another contract. We're going to eliminate our employee that runs the department. And what about the people who work under him? Are they going to be kept or are they going to be lost because of this takeover? My understanding is that there's some question as to whether custodial services is going to be outsourced. And those are union jobs, so y'all aren't going to be able to get rid of those people very easily. Because I guarantee you, as a former union representative, I would fight for them. So who paid for the repairs of the locker rooms at the stadium that were apparently destroyed from that midget football game? And I still have not heard from your so-called athletic director and whatever other position he holds. He should have been there that day. Security should have been there that day. Are we picking up the tab for the repairs?
To my knowledge, there was only one door handle that ripped off and it was able to be replaced just because the screws are still there. That was the only damage that had been done. Besides trash, I mean, obviously being thrown around. The group that was there brought their own security. And they just, again, they had 6 individuals there on security, but again, it wasn't enough, unfortunately.
No, it wasn't. And at the last meeting, when I addressed also the issue where I drove around the parking lot and nobody questioned why I was there. Did anybody talk to security? Did
There was a
anybody,
situation, absolutely.
did you rectify?
There's an individual that is out in the booth periodically, not all day long,
Mhm.
but they are there, at different times, monitoring from.
Okay. And the answer to my question?
Well, can you ask again, ma'am? First off, Mrs. Demessi, this is labeled as public comment. This is not labeled as public question and answer. I will do the best of my ability, like all these other individuals sitting here, to answer any question you have, but we're not mandated to answer any question you have. As far as this proposal goes, the proposal that's being voted on is to keep the staff in place. It is not to replace the entire staff.
Not just the head of the staff. Years past,
Yeah,
years past,
you've exceeded your.
okay, but years past, they've always answered questions. It's only you folks that don't answer questions.
Takes us to
Exactly right.
board
Your
secretary, business
policy.
managers report.
Your new policy that we get up there and ask all our questions.
We're
and
not
you answer.
gonna entertain you from the crowd, Mrs. Smith. You've had your opportunity to speak.
Violate your own policy.
Mr. Jazinski, you didn't sign up to speak. Would you like to approach? Okay, we have a separate sheet. If you'd like to speak, you're welcome to come to that.
Thank you, I'll make it real short. No, I won't, but, Jim Jasinski, 1 Cameron Drive. An issue came up that has been going through the House and the State Senate for quite some time, probably 10 or 12, 15 years. And it has to do with the school taxes. Throughout the state and Pennsylvania, there's a lot of residents that are on fixed incomes, and with the way that the tax burden has gone on those people, a lot of them, frankly speaking, are losing their houses. There's a kind of a work groups going on in Harrisburg now that's kind of sponsored by, it's a bipartisan effort. And I think it's something that if we could get Mr. Courts to come at the next meeting and give us a little bit of a straight scoop, the straight lowdown on what's going on with that. There's people from Schuylkill County, from Monroe County, Northampton County. They're all on board, and it's been an ongoing process. But as the one representative said, and I quote him, it says, "One thing I'm optimistic about is we were all sitting at the same table." In other words, we seem to be that there is movement coming, but we don't know. And our representative courts, because he's in Harrisburg, I think that he would be a person that we could gain a little bit of knowledge for. That's all I have. Thank you. And I certainly appreciate the board's time and effort.
Board Secretary, Business Managers Report.
Yes, Mr. President, there are two items under 5A, and I will read them separately, and we will vote on them separately. Item number 5A1, it is recommended the board approve resolution number 2019-14 certifying that the board of directors of the West Mifflin Area School District will not raise property taxes for fiscal year 2021 above the referendum limit of 3.6% as presented. I would ask for a motion and a second.
I have a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Marshall,
Second.
second by Mr. Blazevich. Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandrov,
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes.
Engler,
I abstain.
Stelman,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
DeCenzo.
Yes.
Mr. President, that was approved on an 8-0-1 vote with one abstention. Item number 5A2, it is recommended the board approve the appointment of Joseph Esper as board secretary for term ending 6/30/21 per 24 PS 4-404 effective January 1st, 2020. Furthermore, it is recommended the board appoint Joseph Esper as open records officer and plan administrator for the West Mifflin Area School District 403B and 457 plan documents effective January 1, 2020. I would ask for a motion in a second.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mrs. Ahern,
Second.
second by Mr. Mattis. Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandrov,
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes.
Engler,
Yes.
Costello,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
DeCenzo.
Yes.
Congratulations, Mr. Item number 5B1, I would ask for a motion and a second.
Motion by Mrs. Costello,
Second.
second by Mr. Marshall. Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandrov,
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes.
Engler,
Yes.
Costello,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
DeCenzo.
Yes.
Going down at the bottom of page 1 and over on page 2, I would ask for a motion and a second for item 5C1 and 2.
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Mattis,
Second.
second by Mr. Blazevich. Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Ahern,
Yes for 5C1, no for 5C2.
Alexandrov,
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes for 5C1 and no for 5C2.
Engler,
Yes for 5C1, no for 5C2.
Costello,
Yes for 5C1, no for 5C2.
Marshall,
Yes for 5C1, no for 5C2.
Mattis,
Yes for both.
White,
Yes for 5C1, no for 5C2.
Mr. President, 5C1 was approved on a 9-0
I
vote.
didn't vote.
Oh,
I
sorry,
voted yes.
I'm sorry. The 5C1 was approved on a 9-0 vote. 5C2 was not approved. It failed on a 3-6 vote. And so ends my report, Mr. President.
District operations.
Yes, Mr. President, under district operations, just one item, and I'm asking for the board to approve one additional production staff and salary for the 2019 fall play that wasn't included on the original proposal. This is at no cost to the district.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mrs. Costello,
Second.
second by Mrs. White. Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandrov,
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes.
Engler,
Yes.
Costello,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
DeCenzo.
Yes.
Superintendent's report, just two items. It's 7B1, which is student activities, where there's 2 items, and 7C1, which are the building permits, and there's 5 there.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mrs. Costello,
Second.
second by Mrs. Ahern. Any questions or comments? Roll call?
Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandra.
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes.
Engler,
Yes.
Pistonik,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
DeSenza.
Yes. Board President's correspondence, there is none at this time. Professional personnel,
Yes, Mr. President, under professional personnel, I'm asking for a motion second and approval for 9A, 1 and 2, which are leaves of absence, and that will be all.
do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mrs. Ahern,
Second.
second by Mr. Marshall. Any questions or comments? Roll call?
Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandra.
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes.
Engler,
Yes.
Pistonik,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
DeSenza.
Yes. Non-certified personnel,
Yes, Mr. President, under non-certified personnel, I'm asking for a motion second and approval for 10D, 1 through 4.
do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mrs. Costello,
Second.
second by Mrs. White. Questions or comments? Roll call?
Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandra.
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes.
Engler,
Yes.
Pistonik,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
DeSenza.
Yes. Athletic personnel,
Yes, Mr. President, under athletic personnel, just one item, I'm asking for a motion second and approval for 11D1.
Motion.
motion by Mr. Marshall,
Second.
second by Mr. Blazevich. Any questions or comments? Roll call?
Ahern,
Yes.
Alexandra.
Yes.
Blazevich,
Yes.
Engler,
Yes.
Pistonik,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Mattis,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
DeSenza.
Yes.
That ends my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Hoover. Executive session discussion, we discussed personnel, solicitor's report.
Our report was given. That's it.
No, student board representative report.
Hi. So we had the Titan Eaters in the community raise over 5,000 pounds of food for the community food bank. That was from all the schools in the district, and then we had our school store open this past week. We have the orchestra concert, the high school one, tomorrow at 7. And because of the recent passing of Desani Green, we decided to decorate a ceiling tile for him. And also, we're going to do a spirit day next week where we all wear blue and gold, and football players wear jerseys, and track players wear their shirts.
Can I
That's
ask you
good.
last question?
Yeah.
For the general public, what is sold in the school store?
From what we understand, there's going to be like t-shirts, bracelets. There's like sweatpants, hoodies. There was coffee there, but I'm not sure if that's actually being sold.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Okay, thank you.
All right, any old business? New business?
Since that motion didn't pass.
Yeah, we, as of, the end of this month, no longer have an IT director, and we're gonna be left with nobody in that role. So we as a board and administration have to come up with a plan fast. I don't think we put ourselves in a real ideal position by voting that motion down. There's obviously the totality of our IT department, the security infrastructure, and, that is gonna be left without being supervised. I mean, there's a lot of issues that now we have to come up with a plan in a real short time. And, I don't know, obviously we had to make a decision probably quicker than most people would have liked or any of us would have liked, but now what position did we put ourselves in? So, or what position did we put him in whenever we don't have anybody to answer questions or. So I don't know, Dr. Hoover, if you have a recommendation or if anyone on the board has a recommendation on how we should move forward. effective January, but I mean,
We're gonna have to put somebody in charge, but, again, this is gonna be a great risk, and, it's unfortunate that it didn't go through, but, we'll try to weigh out who I feel can best handle the situation on a short-term, basis.
We do something at a reduced term.
We can't hear you.
We
What
do
was-
something at a reduced term.
is that what the issue was? I mean,
It was a very long, it was a long. term.
3.5 years. That commitment was the issue.
Yeah, and the issue, our immediate issue is having somebody in place by the beginning of the year to get us through, really to get us through the school. So I don't wanna commit to a 3-year term because we have to turn something around in 4 weeks.
But we'd have to renegotiate the contract, obviously, if he was, for business, bring them back in. We could look at possibly getting a 6-month, initial assessment complete and see what kind of recommendations they come up with and then, go from there. But, we could look at through June
Or
30th.
rescope the,
Well, I think,
rescope the ask to be a temporary person to oversee operations of the, and then go from there.
until, I mean, the solicitor could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we weren't really approving anything officially until it was executed. So these are all things that can continue to be negotiated, if I'm right or wrong. I mean, we could go back to Ford and say that, they're,
Well, the basic terms have to be voted on at the meeting, so the basic terms was the price and the three.
but that's not
can't
listed,
hear.
that's not listed in this
Can't hear
motion.
anybody.
Yeah, the board has to know what they were voting on, so they would have to know the basic terms of what the agreement was, which we discussed. But we can go back and renegotiate that, that's possible. I know that Mr. Blazevich has wanted a broader scope of applicants. That can be done, but we are under a time restriction.
I understand.
I mean, at this point, I don't know what our options are. If we're not going back to the table with them, I don't know where that leads us.
Well, I
That
don't
leads
think
him
we
in
are.
a real precarious situation. I mean,
But what I would do is probably, you need to get the technology committee assembled here and very quickly, and then we'll, meet them here within the next week or so, we can do that. And maybe we'll develop a plan, of action and come up with it and, make a proposal to the board. And in the meantime, we also talk to Ford about maybe just coming on at an hourly rate to oversee.
I think there are options, it's just, there's a very.
we're also faced with the holiday and everything. This is an awful time of the year to have to be dealing with this, so.
You guys did it by getting rid of them.
It's not true.
So, I mean, I don't know, nobody else is saying anything, so I don't know what, I guess,
I'm willing to help and work and do whatever we need to do on any committees to
what,
assess or.
I guess, what length of an agreement would you be comfortable, like, or I don't know, is that the extenuating circumstance that.
Well, I think
I mean,
it's two things. It's a very hasty decision for me, from my perspective, because I just showed up here. And I don't have any of the details of what they're being asked to do. So I really.
I understand,
comfortable-
yeah.
I'm comfortable making a decision based on other information.
Okay.
Especially for that long of a period of time. If you were to say, hey, this is just for 6 months, and then we'll reassess at that point and decide on a longer term deal. Okay. Right?
Don't a lot of companies hire on probationary period setups? Could we do something like that?
I think
Yeah,
that
I mean,
Ford
we can
was,
offer anything, it's just whether or not, there was two people at the table. I think their price was reflective on a long-term deal. We can go to the table, there's nothing stopping us from asking that. There's nothing stopping us from looking internally, there's nothing stopping us from going outside. You have a plethora of options on the table, but you just have to direct the administration in which direction you want to go.
and I believe any of us that were a part of those negotiations, Ford was very open to whatever the board needed, they would be willing to work with us. I mean, they made that very clear that they would not hold us to anything that we were not comfortable with moving forward, so. I mean, I don't know, I guess we'll circle, like Dr. Hoover said, we could form the technology committee and we have to make a decision in the immediate future, I mean, one way or the other.
I just didn't feel comfortable.
I don't know, I don't have to explain
The thing
it.
you gotta understand is, if we're gonna have to put out our RFQ again, I assume, is what we would do, which is, a fairly lengthy process. I mean, turn it around fairly quickly, but again, you don't get a lot of, people that are gonna, go ahead and actually make a proposal at that point. But, I would be more open to having Ford come in for a 6-month time period, at least to get us through the end of the year, and that way we'll be able to reevaluate what they're doing, what they're proposing, and take a look at it from there. I can't believe that we're gonna not have somebody in place. I think that's
And I would be
a
fine.
great risk.
I would be fine with that too. It was the 3.5 years, just didn't feel
I mean, we have to check on that, I guess. I mean, can we?
Would you make a motion?
Can we make a motion based on if they would agree or be agreeable
That's
to a
something-
6-month term, Chris?
You have to have the price. Yeah. They have to know what the terms are. It has to include who you're contracting with, the term of the contract, and the price of the contract. Those are the 3 elements they have to have.
Well, if we were to pending their agreement to it. Because we're not gonna meet again for, what, 6 weeks?
You
So, I
could
mean,
have a special meeting, possibilities.
so, if we would spell out the terms they agreed to, which I'm confused because they're not in this motion now.
There's no money and there's no year in there.
If somebody makes a motion, or you might get a motion for adjournment.
Is anybody else, I mean,
So,
Yeah, really, why is everybody quiet?
I-
Somebody should make a motion, because I mean, really, that's why one of the reasons I voted, told you to vote no. There's no dollar amount or years, and you're given the contract with no information.
we have that.
yeah,
We have.
You have that, but we should have it.
There's no reason to go for an RFQ. I think we bring them back in and we will talk about.
I would need you or somebody to make that motion, and we would have to vote on, we'd have to get a second, and we'd have to vote on that.
I know.
Why is Matt the only one talking to nobody else?
But can we talk about term? We can't, until they agree to the actual term.
We could, she could correct me if I'm wrong, I think we could make a motion pending their approval as well.
Okay.
But you would have to give me the term, or till June 30th, with Ford Business Machines for X amount of money, or not to exceed X amount of money.
Well, I think not, thinking out loud here, I apologize, my first day on the job. Not to exceed whatever we have in the budget today for the remaining balance of this academic.
And I could speak to the terms that we agreed on, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what's in front of you, that was what is in front of you now. They agreed to come in at the current price that's budgeted for that role.
And that's the money term.
Yes.
I believe
But it's only
Mr.
for
Esper
this
and
year.
Mr. Smart know what the 6 months amount would be.
If we're talking about a prorated portion, it would be half of $123,000.
Yes.
Or $10,250 a month.
How much?
A month.
A month.
$61,500.
$61,500 for 6 years.
I'd rather spend that.
Okay, I mean, then I would need you to put that motion forward.
No, it's not just one person.
Well, somebody else has to.
No, I'm not saying she.
But what you would have to do is make a motion to hire offer and hire Ford Business Machines for a 6-month term effective January 1st and June 30th, 2020, for the amount of not to exceed $61,500. Terms of the contract to be negotiated by the solicitor, meaning the language of liability and coverage and.
Right.
Because we don't have a contract in front.
Right. So
You echo that?
I will try.
On top of that, could you spend an extra $5,000 and get a new microphone system?
Talk to the borough, it's theirs.
So I motion to enter into an agreement with business owners for a period of 6 months. For a term of 6 months, not to exceed the 61,500, pending their approval. Starting January 1st. And ending 6/30.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Ayer. Any questions or comments? Mrs. Domestic?
So that's gonna be 61,000 for the end of the school year,
That would be correct.
Correct.
okay? That, I would say would be acceptable, but the only issue is, and I don't wanna say this to be really nasty, but an employee is kind of asked to leave or forced out or however
We're not
it
gonna
became.
insinuate any of that.
Right,
No,
well,
that's
however
not-
it
that's
became,
not true.
okay? And you expect new board members to make a decision on something like that. My main reason, like I said, was there was no dollar amount here. There was no number of years here. And quite frankly, if you don't have that information, how do we know how much money you're spending for this company? I mean, we have the right to know what you're putting out for this company for how many years and what they're going to do. If you're keeping the old employees and they're going to be covering the management portion of it, like, it's a lot of money. And do we have it? We keep spend, and pretty soon, we're gonna be like Penn Hills. We're gonna be so in debt. And it shouldn't be that way. You can't expect us senior citizens, unfortunately I am one, to be picking up the tab of the taxes that you keep on raising and all of the homes that we lost to the turnpike. And just, not to be smart, but Tony, this was your policy that will ask the questions and all at one time and you will answer us
No,
afterwards.
I did not.
Oh, yes.
No,
Go back to the meetings,
Okay.
the minutes.
we'll agree
These
to
people
disagree
here
on
will
that.
attest to it. You made that, yeah, last year.
There was somebody that was president prior to me.
Wasn't him.
So we have a motion and a second. Do I have any other questions or comments? Is everybody clear on what we're what we're voting on? All right, roll call.
Aaron,
Yes.
Alexandrov.
Yeah.
Blazevich,
Yes.
Engler,
Yes.
Castelnick,
No.
Marshall,
No.
Mattis,
Yes.
White,
No.
DeSenza.
Yes.
Mr. President, that was approved on a 6-3 vote.
Any other new business? Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Meeting adjourned.